business. And I know that game because there's probably been no Zimbabwean envoy to date who has done as much as I've done in terms of attracting new capital to Zimbabwe. And I know the game. I started with the Development Bank of Southern Africa and built the digital link between Messina and Zimbabwe in 1998. It was my project. I beat Econet to that project. I later went to engage the Chinese. I was behind Zimbabwe being registered in Brazil together with Ambassador Pfuma, whom I told you about. These loans which some people are breaking about now and making commissions out of it, I'm the one who initiated them, and then of course I'm the one who put Zimbabwe on the Export-Import Bank eligibility list of India, Export-Import Bank of India. When you see these Ashko Clayland buses, it's because I put Zimbabwe when I was Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. I know this game. So that's why I'm so proud about the capabilities of the war veterans, because I'm one of them. There's so much which can do rather than this, Philistine approach to economic management, which has been the manifest in some of the G40 speeches.
Some will say that approaching the Indaba, one of the prerequisites or one of the main points that you wanted to achieve there was the dismantling of the so-called G40 faction, but there was no pronouncement to say it has been dismantled. What are your views on that?
We will put the matter on the agenda. We are firmly pursuing it on the agenda. I told you, we have dealt with the enemies which are much tougher than some of these things. The Rhodesians were no slouches. What I can assure you is that every antenna of the war veteran is up on the issue of the people who want to usurp and change the course of the history of Zimbabwe. And with it, it is with the ordinary rank and file people whom they live with. We are not bothered with people who live on the internet. We are bothered with the people who make the majority of the Zimbabwe population. And I can tell you we made Zimbabwe people become conscious of who they are. Before the war veterans organized rural people, they were like locusts being taken in any direction by the colonial wind. We gave them the identity. We gave them solidity, the solidity which Zimbabweans have become the most conscious people in Africa today. So we know how we did it. Nobody else knows it as good as we do. So that's why I speak with pride about our achievements. We speak on the record of our achievement. We don't speak on the record of some silly articles on the internet or some tweeting. We don't talk that stuff. We talk serious stuff.
Are you not fighting in the Lacoste corner?
No, there is nothing which is called. I've never been to a Lacoste meeting. I don't even know if there's some. I think that name comes from somebody, so from the G40. They are the ones who huddle every morning and they look for silly women who disparage vice presidents before big meetings. There's nothing like a Lacoste. When 10,000 war veterans gather and you try to brand them as belonging to it, it's because you don't know nothing about the history of this country and what those people achieved. And sooner rather than later you'll be winnowed out. And I don't mince my words on that particular issue because I know the sentiments which the war veterans have about those issues. I'm hitting the right chord with my constituents.
Okay. What is your current relationship with the president?
Very good. The president the other day was at Heroes Acre. I felt very humbled and honored when he mentioned that Chris Mtsvangwa was one of the people he met in 1975 when we went to war. I had organized the demonstration at his house in Highfield when I was at university on the Chitepo's death. I was one of the prime movers of that demonstration where it would have been turned into a massacre, but for the dexterity of the president in dealing with the Rhodesians, he was given a second to say something to disarm and the demonstrating students when all the Soweto would have happened at his house in Highfield. He dealt with the matter and he appealed to us. The other girl I met yesterday somewhere, he says, do you remember what the president said in 1975 at his house? He says, please hold on to your girls and take them to university. Don't leave them, the Rhodesians will maraud them. And we did exactly that, and the whole incident ended without somebody dying. And he could also have been killed on that particular occasion. A couple of weeks later, of course, he went to Mozambique, and a couple of weeks later, I also followed him into Mozambique. I go a long way back with the president. Nothing will shake that relationship. There have been attempts to abuse State House, maybe against me. I understand exactly. I've been through this before. Like I told you, Nyatsonya, I was in prison for fighting in the corner of the girls who were being abused.